Hey everybody, how's it going? Something came up today, so I just thought I'd do a quick video on lights, flashlights to be more specific. Today I was working and I got an alarm on my phone saying the sump pump had gone off, the water level sensor had gone off, and I was at work and couldn't get home, but my wife was home, so I knew she'd deal with it. But the problem was I got this message at like 10 after 2, and I knew at 2 o'clock she had a video conference thing she had to do at home, some pretty important stuff. She ended up having to cancel it because of this. What had happened, unbeknownst to her, was there's a connection broke off the front water spigot at the side of the house, the front side of the house, and so it was just pouring water out there for, I don't know what this happened yesterday or today. And, obviously running underneath the house, and the sump pump just couldn't keep up with it. The reason the sump pump couldn't keep up with it was because the hose coming from the sump pump outside going to the back alley was frozen solid. So I have a utility pump that I'd bought for such emergencies. I will show you why. We had a problem with a pipe that came through the wall in the basement and went into the sump. The pipe that came through the wall wasn't sealed in the concrete, and so water would just pour in there when we had a big heavy rain and set off the sump pump sensor all the time, flood the basement pretty much. So I bought this emergency pump to use for just that situation. I did manage to plug that around the pipe between the concrete with using a special adhesive and a special cement concrete that meant for that. It hardens with water. You can put it right on there wet and it'll seal up and harden. It kind of expands a little, whatever. I can't think of the name of that type of concrete. Hydro something. And that hasn't leaked since. So I was thinking, why the hell is this going on? And that's when I got home, I figured out. I went to look. I told her, go cut the sump pump off where the pipe comes out the house. And she did that, and it was still frozen in there. I said, well, go get a bucket of ice water or hot water, pour it on it. That melted it, and then the sump pump started pumping it out. Meanwhile, she'd been downstairs with the utility pump pumping it into the bathroom sink, which was good. Saved the day. Nothing flooded in the basement. It was all good. But the thing is, we keep this flashlight has been down there, and this Garrity flashlight, we've had this for at least 15 years, probably 20 years. I got this before we were even dating, for camping. And I'm not even sure if it's 2Ds or 2C cells. 2Ds. Yeah. 2D cell batteries. And I don't even know how old these batteries are either. But this thing's been around forever. And it works, but it's not terribly bright. Like, you can look at my keyboard and that's hardly even doing anything. So this thing is all but useless, and sometimes it doesn't work at all, and you got to do the old thing like in movies where you hit it to get to work. So that's no good. So I replaced that with one of these. I've got like 20 of these all over the house and the garage. These are just a little Citizen 3 AAA batteries and 6 LED lights in there, 6 LED bulbs, and they're fairly bright. But this thing she said it would stop working. I don't know, now it won't do it, but it stopped working. So what she did was came upstairs and got this thing. I've had this. I bought this at a place called KMS Tools. It was one of those impulse buys. It was at the checkout. And it was like $10 or something. And it's battery, it's not rechargeable. I don't like rechargeable lights like this because they always seem to be dead when you go to use them, and you can't just I'd like to, if it's dead, I like to just put new batteries, and I've always got batteries around. And it's cool. It's got a movable clip thing. I don't know, I think that's magnetic. It is. It's magnetic. Not terribly magnetic, but somewhat magnetic. So, anyway, this thing gets used all over the house. I keep this in the house. I've got another one like it in the garage, but it's got the light on the end and the big light there. And as you can see, that casts a lot more light than either of those lights. And these batteries have been in here for a year. This has been kicking around for a year in the house, and this gets used all the time. Something falls under the couch, this gets used. Digging through something in the back of a drawer, this gets used. Back of the closet, whatever. This is constantly being used, and it's a great flashlight. So I wanted to get something like this to keep in the basement by the sump pump. What I found were these. I actually picked up 2 of these. Now the reason I picked up these is because they're almost identical to the Streamlight 6702. They're both 160 lumens. They're both magnetic, fairly strong magnet on the bottom of these. Let's see, there we go. I mean, you're not going to lift the world with it, but it's fairly strong. And they're waterproof too, water resistant. I don't know if I'd soak them in a swimming pool overnight. But this is it's a taller brand. You can get these on Amazon. This particular one came from Canadian Tire. And they too also have the end light, which is fairly bright. I dare say even brighter than that one. See the difference? So they've got that, which is handy. And that's even handier. It lights up the whole area very well. And these were $6. Now the Streamlight that I bought, the Streamlight 6702, I paid, I believe, $35. And it's a good light. It's a great light, but Streamlights are way overpriced. I mean, this is obviously a copy of it, but it's a very good copy. And I don't foresee any problems with this. It's got the clip and it's fairly magnetic. The battery compartment took me a while to figure out where it was. It's actually in the back here, because this all looks like it's molded one piece. And it just slides off and it takes 3 AAAs. And it appears to seal pretty good, so I mean it's fairly water resistant. And so I bought 2 of them for like $6 each. So I'll take you downstairs and show you what I essentially bought them for. I'll take you down because I got to take one down there anyway to put down. So we'll just unplug. Hold on. Alrighty. Okay. Let's go downstairs. You'll have to excuse the mess. It's a bit, I don't know, we're kind of cleaning things out and reorganizing things. So let's go downstairs. This is my back door or side door of the house. Into the basement we go. Some junk piled in the corner, some recyclables here. This is my furnace room. Let's see, lots of nice room in here. Furnace, air cleaner, breakers, networking stuff. That's a big mess. I got to go through that and clean that. Water heater and all the ducts and everything associated with it. But overall, it's a pretty organized room. It's not too bad. Down here, more junk in the hallway, and that's my music room in there. This is the bathroom. You can see she originally was pumping it into this bin, and that's my submersible utility pump. Works great. Just plug it in. I've got one of those expandable hoses connected to it. Just plug it in. It's another expandable hose. I had one of these pumps, but they suck. You've got to prime them to work, and it's just that one there is foolproof. Okay, so here's the it's a little storage room. The house is designed, when we designed it, to be this basement, fully finished basement, and it can be converted to a suite really easily. I mean, up against that wall, there's a receptacle for a stove, fridge, there's a water connection. I mean, there's a fridge over there behind the bar. And so this can all be converted into a suite if need be. And part of that was having this. This is the laundry room. You see it's got a dryer plug there. Water connections. It's got a dryer hookup right there. And there's our sump down there. And you see this is the only light in here. So it's kind of handy to have something that lights up the area. I have these down here, but when it's flooding, you don't really want to be playing with plug-in lights. So anyway, there's my repair. It looks pretty brutal, but that's, what is that, an 8-inch wall, 10-inch wall, and it's got a foam backer in it. There was no way I could get at it from the other side because there's a sidewalk above it, so I'd have to break the sidewalk out. I wasn't doing it. So I put foam backer rod in it, filled it with a epoxy caulking type thing, and then this concrete stuff. And it hasn't leaked since. And we've had some pretty horrendous rainfalls, so I think we're all good there. And that's the sump itself with sump pump down there. Stairs. But yeah, so that's the reason for this light down here. And we usually just keep it here. And as a matter of fact, in this little tin is some cooking oil that I used for that other pump to prime it. You have to prime it to get it going. But my wife doesn't know how to do that, so I just got the other pump. And so we should be good now. So that's about it. I just figured I'd bring you guys down and show you what the lights were for. Oh, what a mess. I gotta clean up down here. Time to take the recyclings in. You'll notice no beer bottles, beer cans. Used to be, I don't know, I had so many empties when I used to drink, but it's been, I think it's coming up on 4 years since I quit drinking. So lost a significant source of my income was taken in my empties. But look out, Gromit. Look out, little man. He always wants to go to the basement. Why, I don't know. There's nothing down there for him. So, anyway, just to wrap this up, I highly recommend these if you can find them. Again, this is a Taller brand, and it has a part number 51420, and it's again virtually the same as the Streamlight. So yeah, that's it. Any questions, comments, let me know down below. Thanks for watching. There's my thumb. Take care, and I'll talk to you guys later.